Welcome to Ielts Speaking Test Simulation Part 1. Can I first start by asking your name?
My name's Brock.
Brock, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And where are you from, Brock?
I'm from Tasmania originally. I've been in Melbourne for about 4 months.
Oh, right. What made you move?
I came here just for more working opportunities.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're working or studying?
Working as paramedic.
Oh, excellent. Oh, that'll be exciting.
It is. It's very intense, especially in Melbourne. But
I bet.
it's fun.
All right, so we're going to go through a couple of questions. We're going to start with asking about how you spend your money on clothes. So, where do you buy most of your clothes?
Op shop, always. It's a lot cheaper and helps the good cause, I guess.
Oh yeah, I like that. And how often do you buy clothes for yourself?
Once every few weeks, not too often.
Yeah? Every few weeks is not too often, you think?
Maybe actually a little less, maybe once a month, maybe a bit over.
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends. I might buy like one new t-shirt every month. So,
Oh yeah. And how do you decide which clothes to buy?
What feels good, what looks good is most important to me. But what feels good is most important because if it looks good and it's not comfortable, I'm never really going to wear it. So
Okay.
always prioritise comfort.
So comfort is number one.
Comfort is number one.
Okay, and price is
Oh,
number
well,
two?
because I'm at an op shop, everything's like under $10.
Yep.
So yeah, I usually go for the cheaper stuff just because I go through clothes so quickly. I don't know why, they just always break.
And have the kinds of clothes that you wear changed over the years?
Once I started going to op shops more a few years ago, it did. It just became more weird shirts and t-shirts. Yeah, just a lot weirder stuff, but it's still comfortable.
Weirder as in...
Oh,
something
like
a
this
bit
shirt I
different?
find's a little weird. I probably wouldn't buy this from a shop, but just because it's in an op shop and it's quite cheap and comfortable, I'll buy it.
Okay, great. Let's go to part 2 of the speaking test simulation. So now I'm going to get you to read a card. It's going to ask you to describe an interesting discussion you've had about how you spend money. You need to mention who you had the discussion with, why you discussed this topic, and what the result of the discussion was. You'll have 1 minute to think about it. You can take some notes as well, and then you'll need to speak about that topic for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, Brock, so tell me, describe your interesting discussion that you had on spending money.
So I remember having a conversation about how I spend money with my mum. And the reason we had this conversation is because unfortunately I was in a car accident and I had to owe a lot of money. So this led me to have to ask to borrow money off my mum. And the first thing she said is, well, where's your money? What if you spent it all on? And it was interesting because it really made me think of what have I spent my money on? Because all I did was spend it. I didn't even buy anything. All I did was go out, hang out with friends, spend it on food. And the result of that was I realized I had to start saving money in case I get into a pickle. So basically, from now, I'm working and I have a different bank account I can save money into. So that's been the result of the conversation. And now, instead of just spending it on food and on drinks out in town, I buy more important things like car insurance. So I'm never in a problem like that again. So I'm very grateful for the experience, and it was a very interesting conversation. My mum was fairly upset, but I've paid her back, and she's good. Yeah, but if I think about it more, it's interesting that a lot of people just seem to spend their money without really thinking about problems they can get into. So I'm a lot more cautious now, and I don't buy as many clothes either to save it. And then one other thing would be is my mum had told me about how important it is to save your money, which I probably feel like I'm repeating myself a little bit, but the moment just meant a lot to me, and it was really good, really valuable. Yeah.
Great, thank you, Brock. Okay, now we'll move on to part 3 of the Ielts speaking test simulation. So I've got a couple of questions for you about money and young people. Why do you think some people give their children money to spend?
I think because they want their kids to enjoy themselves and hang out with their friends and buy some food. Other than that, I'm not sure. I feel like they should encourage their children to get a job. Yeah.
Instead of giving them money each week? Okay, so pocket money, you don't agree with pocket money?
Well, I mean, it depends how old they are. I think if they're like over 15, they should encourage them to look for work, but there's nothing wrong with giving pocket money.
Okay, do you agree that schools should teach children how to manage money?
I think it would be beneficial. I was never kind of told how to manage money during school, and I think it would be very helpful because it's very easy to spend money and fairly hard to make it.
So it could be something that they introduce into the classrooms, do you think?
Might be really good, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't really know what they would teach. I'd kind of have to experience it, but it sounds like a good thing.
And do you think it's a good idea for students to earn money while they're studying?
Yes, definitely.
And why is that?
So they can understand how bad some jobs are, and it will encourage them to finish the degree.
Right. Now a couple of questions on money and society. Do you think that it's true in today's society that money cannot buy happiness?
Look, money can certainly allow you not to stress as much. I think once you have enough money to pay the bills, to buy food, and to have a little bit extra to play with, I think that's the optimal amount to be happy. Any more than that, it doesn't buy you much happiness. But anything lower, times may get very stressful, and I think money can buy happiness in that respect.
Where do you think that threshold is between?
I think it's around $80,000. I think if you research it, I believe it's around there where it like lowers the happiness, lowers after that threshold. I could be wrong, but I believe that would be about right, yeah.
What disadvantages are there in society with the gap between the rich and the poor, if it's very large?
I don't know, I guess maybe it might be harder if you're poor to get richer. You know, if education's not free or anything and you don't have much money, it's harder to afford education, which then it's harder to get a degree and then to get a job that pays well. But I'm not really sure. I don't really know much around that topic.
And lastly, do you think that richer countries should be made to help out poorer countries?
Look, I believe we're all people, we're all on the same level, and I think we should help one another. We should help one another out when in need. I don't know if countries should be responsible for helping other countries because we all have our own responsibilities and problems to deal with, but I think it's important to help each other. Yeah, we should, but I don't know if we must, if that makes sense.
Yes, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, great. Thanks very much, Brock. Thanks for your time. That is the end of part 3.
Thanks for having me.